Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here, and today we are going to be covering the Concealed Void Lost Sector, and this is on Europa. We've got Legend difficulty, so it's going to be 1310, and remember this lasts for 24 hours. So on daily reset, which is 10 a.m. Pacific time currently while Daylight Savings Time is going on, until 10 a.m. Pacific tomorrow on July 1st, this will be valid. If you check this video and you check the Lost Sector after reset tomorrow, it will be 1340 and it's going to be much more difficult. So keep that in mind. But we are going for legs. So if you are going for Season of the Splicer legs, this is a good time to jump in. Either get ones that you're missing, get a better roll, or get some of the new stuff that you don't have. This will be a Fallen Lost Sector. So we've got Barrier and Overload champions. Overload are going to be captains. Barrier are going to be servitors. We've got Fallen Fire, Arachnil. That one I never really worried too much about. The main key is aerial damage taken, so if you're dealing with the boss, especially try not to be flying through the air too much. And the burn is also solar, which is what the boss shoots, but that's also what we're going to want to make sure we shoot. Big key, overload hand cannon. Hand cannons really just are more reliable personally than submachine guns, but if you want to use something along the lines of a risk runner, that's up to you. I just prefer the way hand cannons work with overload captains, seems a bit more reliable to me. Over here, rocket launcher ammo finder, rocket launcher reserves, rocket launcher scavenger. Whatever your heavy is, match your scavenger, reserves, and ammo finder every time. Always important. Now, if you have an energy chest piece that is arc, running arc resistance is not going to be a bad thing. If you have one that's solar resistance, also not a bad thing in here. If you are going for reserves, now my rocket launcher has field prep, so I've got like an extra rocket or two. But if you're going with rockets, especially make sure you have reserves because there are 2 solar shielded heavy shanks. And the only way to kill those, because they're going to take a while to pluck away at, you could probably do it with your barrier weapon, which currently I'm using a scout rifle, but it's arc. You could get through those eventually, but it's easy just to hit them with a couple rockets. If you have heavy ammo dropping, it's not that big of a deal if you're running a little low. Now, as you guys know, when I do these, I typically don't use exotics in weapons or armor. I also try not to use my super. That being said, if you want to run a solar subclass up here, you absolutely can. Only reason I would actually tell you probably to run a void subclass because there is one servitor in the end of this thing who can actually shield the boss, and if you can't take it out, it gets to be a little annoying. Now, what did I do? I still had plenty of heavy ammo, so I just nuked it with a rocket launcher and then finished up with a couple bullets. That being said, again, I said that twice, if you want to have a well-rounded loadout, take a void subclass with you with a grenade that you can control, and then you could also use the super if that's what you need to go and kill the servitor in the back of the room. Other than that, you can basically nuke the boss with rockets if you've got enough ammo. Now, I don't use exotics. Xenophage is a really, really great one to use in here. And then, of course, just go machine gun mods. If you have Xenophage, it's fantastic. You can nuke the boss. You can usually power through just about anything. If you don't have Xenophage and you're watching this, go find another video that tells you how to get it because it is completely worth getting, I promise you. But not using that one, so just using basically a rocket launcher here. Grenade launcher would work as well. If you have grenade launcher, you could totally go breach and clear. As I'm not, I'm using surge detonators, so my arc grenades can deal with the overload captains if I want them to. And honestly, at that point, if you're choosing to go, say, a void subclass so we can deal with the servitor in the back, obviously I'm not going to have arc grenades, so then I could run energy accelerant. I don't even think I've got anything that's going to explode. So, you know, use whatever mods are going to work for you. It's really kind of your preference. Stunning a champion to create an explosive blast. This is a nice thing to use. If you're not using a grenade launcher, this is nice because every time you do stun a champion, they explode and hurt things around them, which just always helps. Anything else that's going on in here, totally your preference and your call, depending on what weapons you're using. For the weapons, I'm using basic stuff. I have a nice Fatebringer, not using it. We're going with the Survivor's Epitaph. I got Rapid Hit, Adrenaline Junkie. Whatever you're using, major spec, major spec, major spec. Just helps you do more damage to the champions, so those are easier to kill. Now, if you want boss spec here to do more to the boss, that's fine. But honestly, still, major spec here is just going to make the majors go easier. But you could use a machine gun. You could use Xenophage. You could use this. You could probably even use Lament on this one. Nah, I probably actually wouldn't recommend your solar big weapon to be Lament, mostly because you're going to be trying to do damage to the boss, and the boss is going to smash you if you get too close. So a little bit of range on your weapon. And if you don't have any of the, like even the Iron Banner, the thermal erosion, you got some solar options is all I'm saying. So take your pick. I'm not using exotics. I'm not going to use a super. So if you guys have any that you prefer to use, throw those onto your loadout and make it that much better. So intro out of the way. Let's see how this thing goes. All right, so when you load in, you're going to have a couple dregs right here. They go down pretty quick. Going to have maybe a shank or two wander out, and your captain will be here momentarily. He's going to wander over. Give him a sec. He'll come creeping out if you start making some noise. Shank. Captain, where are you at? He'll be here. I have to walk up, there he is. And again, if you run out of bullets, just keep firing and reloading. You'll eventually get them down. You're going to have some vandals in the back. Got a shank up here. Now you'll notice I started with 10 rockets. That's because I have 1 reserve and I also have field prep on. If you don't, that's okay. Just know you might need to hope for a couple more ammo drops. Shank. Goodbye, Shank. It's nice to nuke him. If you have Xenophage, the ammo works really well on him. It's much easier. If you got a grenade launcher, you'll have more ammo just to break that shield. I'm just using big boy rockets, so hopefully I get some ammo drops. Next room's a little interesting. Now, if you creep up here a little bit, you can get some of the ads to show up before the barrier gets in the mix. The barrier servitor in this one, probably one of the more annoying barrier servitors, just because of where he can move to work on getting a shield back. Now, you also have that captain over there. I try and take him out early if I can, because a lot of stuff's going to be on your left. So see the shanks here? Try and work what you can before too much of it drifts over and gets by the servitor. So whether it's a shank over here, drag in the back, the shanks, if you can kill those before they get too close to the barrier champion, that'll actually make your life much, much easier. You notice any heavy ammo drop actually into the water? You can pick it up later. Now the captain's down. He's the solar burn, so that's what's going to be annoying. So, barrier servitor does have a buddy. Now, when I say he teleports, I mean he teleports all over the damn place. He's about to pop his shield, I'm sure. Oh, there we go. Well, at this point, he's just going to make my life easy. Now, that's probably the smoothest it's ever been. Maybe it's because I didn't push forward, whatever. I've seen him teleport up, down, to the left, to the right. He goes all over the place. So if that happens, depending on what's shielded and what's not, that's why I kind of work from the back and take out that captain. I know you're over there. Come on, little buddy. There you go. If you would prefer, what you can do is try and get across over here. Now, you got to watch your right-hand side, but if you're over here, you're going to have at least some more visibility for the champion. But I've seen him be up here, then teleport down in the water and be over here. So if you're having issues with the barrier champion, try and clear the captain off of this platform. You know, clear out the couple ads that are going to be over here. You're going to have another big old guy in the back. Now, if you guys want to see how long it takes to kill one of these without using a rocket, it can be done. If you're at about half shields, you just got to keep tinking them down. Now, I don't know if barrier makes this better. I don't know if it's just match game is something you can eventually get through. But once you break the shield, then you got to commit. Because once that shield's actually down, and you spend enough bullets to actually get through the shield, it makes you commit for the finish. Because you want him down before you get over there, because you got a champion around the corner. So you can do it without a rocket. It's doable. It's just a lot faster if you have heavy ammo rolling around, which I don't have a ton of it, so play it a little more cautious. Sometimes ammo will actually fall into the water, so if you knew like a big purple brick fell in the water, you can touch it and come back. Radiolaria, whatever you want to call it, but come over here and grab yourself some cover behind this. So, Captain's going to be over there on the left. You got a Vandal up there. We're going to take care of the Vandal first. Why I'm using an Arc Scout Rifle? Well, mostly for that Captain, to be completely honest with you. If you want to just have arc grenades and then use a Void Scout Rifle for the Servitor later on, you could do that too. I'm just showing you guys options. So, this guy, pretty much all you got to do is stun. And you can put all the shots in you can. The biggest thing about overloads and understanding the way they work is if you keep tapping them with an overload weapon consistently enough, what you're going to be able to do is keep them from getting their health back. And that's the biggest thing about an overload. They're frustrating and annoying. Believe me, on Master, they're much, much worse. But if you continue to, like, get damage on him, even if it takes you the amount of time to reload a hand cannon, and then you get back even just a quick hip fire shot to keep the damage going, you can. But if you try and fire a heavy weapon, reload the heavy weapon, and then fire it again, you're probably not going to do enough damage, and the game basically sees that you've got your overload weapon off, and he starts to get his health back. So you can toy around with the timing, but that's basically how that goes. Gotta love the fireworks when those void grenades go off. It's just my subclass, but, you know, still fun to do. All right, next piece, we're going to have an Overload champion. You're also going to have a crap ton of Shanks. So, Shanks first. Shoot them, cause the explosions, clear the first wave. Find your Vandal Sniper. Again, you could use a Solar Scout, but you got to have something for an Art Captain, and you got to have something for a Void Servitor in the back of the boss room. I'm going to use a grenade, or at least try to. You can also, as you saw, excuse me, hiccups. Now, if you land on that platform, more are going to spawn. So if you want to spawn the ads, make life easy, get them to spawn, back up. You can even fall down here if you're really worried. Wow. Hiccups mid-video, not the best, I'll be honest. If you feel a little unsafe, you can pull back. Clear all that stuff out. Got one more. Really? Champion's right over there, tucked. There he is. Alright, if you push up, just be ready. Champion's going to be right over here. Now, this is how long. Barely have about that long, and Master is much more stingy. But it's the idea of keeping overload damage on him, which will get him killed. And if you're curious about, like, saving ammo for the boss, you know, I got lucky. I had a heavy ammo brick on the ground, so I was good. Also, with Scavenger, you notice I get 4. I think 4 with reserves and field prep. I think you get 3. But Scavenger is important to make sure you pick up the most. Now, I'm going to avoid this one because if I pick up a brick, I get 3. And I can come back for that ammo if I run out. Now we're at the boss room. First thing you're going to have is just some basic ads sitting around. You're going to have some Wretch in the back, so clear those out. Kill a few more over here on the left. Got plenty of heavy ammo dropping. It's being generous right now, but if you're not going for a flawless run, you can get a little aggressive. Now, if you don't have a tracking rocket launcher, my advice, shoot at the feet, or just know that he's likely going to be there, or just know you might miss your rocket. But it's honestly better to kind of shoot at the feet. You may not get the direct hit as well, but you at least won't go whizzing by him. And this is the servitor I'm talking about. Now, if you can get damage on the boss and he's not nearby, well, shoot a rocket into him. Take the big chunk. Servitor is going to take some time to work down because it also teleports a lot. So, put work in where you can. That was a small number, so I didn't hit anything major there. And this is why I told you, you're going to want something void, and honestly, probably something more consistent than this, because now I've got to get up here and get aggressive, which I don't really want to do. Gonna try and go for the finisher. I usually never would tell anybody to get this close to the boss area. I usually almost always fight from back here. Now that the servitor's down, you need to be kind of aggressive with your rockets. Make sure you can do the damage that you're trying to quickly as possible. I have Frenzy on, so I'm getting a bit more damage, but it's not even activating right now. And if you can kill him before the servitor comes back, you'll be able to do a lot more. I gotta find him. There we go. He's down. Now, I told you guys I don't use my super for wiping this stuff out. I still won't. Grenade should come back, but we gotta clear some ads first. We got a lot of them out here. You could technically run for the chest, and I got plenty of time for the reses. I could go for the chest run and still make it. I'm just trying to play this a little more alive. Possibly flawless, since I don't think I died. There's no flawless for legend, unfortunately. Kind of wish there was, but flawless master difficulty is a thing, so this will just give you guys a few little nuggets to chew on. If the Wretch come close, go a little vertical. Might not hurt in this corner. You don't want to be vertical up in the middle, because they still can hurt you up in the air. But again, see who's shielded, see who's not. But if you want to just, like, nuke the servitor, this is what I would do. Just shoot him with that, and then you're good. Now we're just going to go for the last finish of the couple ads that are in here. You might even get another wave to spawn in case... Okay, I got a full whole wave. Apparently timing wasn't great because they start coming in waves, as you can tell. So now I got even more. But I got a lot. I picked up a few rockets, so we can kill some stuff. Again, at this point, I almost would have just run for the chest and picked it up. All the champions are down, so it's not as big of a deal. But just a clean clear. Open sesame. And that is Concealed Void on Legend, not Master. Remember, this is 1310 difficulty. If it's tomorrow or you find this video later, 1340 master, completely different animal. Let's get back to the planet surface. We'll wrap this up. So that does pretty much wrap everything up. So again, your barrier servitors can be a little tricky, especially that one that's over the Radiolaria Lake. So if you have issues with it teleporting or having shanks, just kind of be patient. Try and take out the captain on the right side to give you a little platform to work from. Watch the ads a little farther down on the right so you don't get picked off. And then you can kind of have a better angle to shoot that servitor. Overload captains, biggest thing, just keep ticking the damage away at them and you'll be better off. I think I just woke up all the enemies around me. Fine. Yeah, overload captains is just about that consistent overload damage. If you sit on your heavy weapon too long, that's why their health is going to regenerate. So if you can, like, switch, fire a rocket, and then switch back, and then keep the overload tick damage going, that's how you'll keep the health down. If you got to switch over and reload, do the reload, and then instantly switch back as soon as you see the number. Don't go for the shot, because then you might not have enough time to get back to your overload. Other than that, it's just kind of getting a feel for those mechanics. Your burn is solar. So if you got something solar that feels fantastic, Xenophage will nuke this whole thing. You won't even have to worry about those shields that I mentioned. But you've got a barrier servitor. You've got a servitor in the back that has void. So you're going to want a way to either do that or power through it with a rocket. And you have the captain who's got arc. Those are your main two shields that you got to worry about. But if you can power through them, you can do that too. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like below. If you have comments or thoughts about loadouts, put those down in the comments. I always love to see what you guys are using. If you guys are new to the channel and you like this video and you want to support me, subscribe button's a nice one to see future videos, and then that alert bell next to it will help my videos get into your YouTube feed. If you guys want to find me on Twitter, it's Ebontis over there, and then same thing on twitch.tv/Ebontis. I typically stream Destiny on Tuesdays. May take some breaks as the story will be a little light, but still typically Destiny will be mixed in along with a bunch of variety on Twitch as well. Thank you all. I'll see you soon.